video, do you know what happens in my house? That. He just lays there and he naps all the time. He doesn't move. He doesn't help me. He doesn't do anything. Now how is that fair? Why do I always gotta work? I put a roof over this dog's head and he can't even do some math with me? Or do a math video for me? Why do I have to make all the math videos? Probably because it's my hobby and I enjoy it. And I'm so excited for you to do one-step equations with decimals. So, if you have a calculator, get it out to use it. If you don't, make sure you take your time to do the practice because I do it in my head really fast, and when I have a calculator, I do it pretty quick. So, yeah. But his favorite thing is napping. Thanks a lot, Matt.
Welcome back to YouTube with Lubelski. We're back into one-step equations. This time we're going to be moving forward with decimals that are in the equations. And so in previous video, we've done it with just integers. Those are whole numbers that are positives and negatives. In this case, we're going to move on to decimals, but if you watch my previous video, this is actually no different, and if you have a calculator, it actually makes it really easy because all we have to do is just plug it into the calculator. Now, if you are doing it by hand without a calculator or your teacher doesn't allow you to use a calculator, you are going to want to make sure that you are practicing adding and subtracting those decimals. All right, so for question number 1, like we've learned in previous videos, we're going to focus on isolating the variable in our equation. In this case, it's x. And if it's plus 3 8/10, I'm going to do the opposite to get it to the other side of my muscle man. I'm going to subtract 3 8/10 from both sides of my equation. And I'm going to drop down my x because I didn't touch that. My 3.8 is gone. And I'm left with my answer, which is 2/10. All right, the next one, I'm going to focus on what is my variable, which is m. I have 9 6/10. It's a positive 9 6/10 because there's no sign in front of it. So it's positive 9 6/10. So I'm going to subtract 9 6/10 from both sides of my equation again. And in your calculator, we know that that cancels out. 9 6/10 subtract itself is 0. My m drops down. And in your calculator, if you do negative 4/10, take away 9 6/10, we get a negative 10. And our next one, remember, just as a reminder, that it doesn't matter if our variable is on the right hand or the left hand side. You can rewrite it if you need to, but I personally don't like to add that step to me. So we're looking at this, and we have a subtract 7 1/10. So we are actually going to add 7 1/10 to both sides. And once I do that, it becomes 0 on the right, and I'm left with just k, which I'll drop down, equals, and if I have a negative 2 plus a 7 1/10, the two negatives get canceled out by some of those positives, and I'm left with a positive 5.1. 5 1/10. All right, and number 4, we're going to take 2 3/10, and because there's no sign in front of it, that means it's positive. We're going to subtract 2 3/10 from both sides of the equation because we are always doing the opposite to move it across that muscle man's body or that road, depending on what your teacher explains that as. The b did not get touched, so I can drop that down. Anything minus itself is 0. And then we have our 6 3/10, take away 2 3/10, and we're left with just a 4. Hopefully you were able to follow along with those first 4 examples. I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to practice the remaining questions on this page on your own. So that's questions 5 through 10. Pause it, and when you unpause it, we'll jump right into checking your answers with mine. Okay, go ahead and check your answers against mine. Questions 5 through 10 are completed. We have z equals 4 and 3/10, n equals 4/10, p equals 2 and 7/10, a equals 0, u equals negative 3 and 6/10, and r equals 10 and 8/10. So take a look at number 9, just so that you don't get freaked out. Your answers can sometimes be negative, and you will see that start to happen as you start working with larger numbers and different numbers and fractions and decimals. So don't question yourself if you end up with a negative, because sometimes it does happen. Thanks for watching.
My name is Nyack, and I'm not going to do math today. I'm just going to sit here and sleep and fall asleep in the middle of mommy making videos. I hope this video worked out for you. Clearly, it put my dog to sleep. Am I really that boring?